Hey everyone, and welcome to the first in a series of tutorials that help you to collect, examine, and visualize urban informatics and modelling through digital data sources within the context of Melbourne, Australia. Hi, my name is Amy, and this tutorial will teach you how to calculate and visualize datasets within the AURIN portal. So let's get started. The first step is to log in to the AURIN portal using your affiliated organisation's login. And then we are going to rename the project. I have already done this step. After this, we are going to define the area of our study to Melbourne's Greater Capital City Statistical Area by refining the study area to this specified data range. We are going to make sure that we are choosing the 2016 one, as this is the latest census year to date. Once we have selected our area, we're going to open up the data browser in the data section of our command panel. And we are going to type in estimated resident population into the keyword search bar and press enter. Next, we are going to scroll through these data sets until we find the one that says Victoria in the Future 2016 ERP by the Victorian Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning. And we're going to click on this to open up this dataset's attributes. We are going to filter the year of this dataset to 2016, as this is the year of the latest census. And we are also going to make sure that the Victorian in Future Small Areas Code 2015 is selected, or the VISFA code, as this will help us calculate multiple years data sets in order to create a change in density visualization. And we're going to select the geometry attribute. Then we are going to give this data set a name. As this will allow us to easily identify this data set. And then we're going to add this data set to the command panel. After this data set has been added, we can change the year filter in this data set to the last year, which in this case is the year 2031, in order for us to amass Melbourne's predicted residential population in the year 2031 based on predictions already researched by the state government, making sure that both the VISFA code 2015 and the geometry attributes are still selected. We are going to give this data set a name, and we're going to add this data set to the command panel. And then we are going to close the data browser. The next step is to click on Tools in the Analysis section of the command panel. And in this window, we can see that there are several tool groups for us to play with. In this instance, we are going to select Dataset and Table Processing. And then in the available items, we're going to choose Join with Keys in order to combine our 2-year data sets into one data set for us to eventually visualize. As we are wanting to see the change between 2016 and the 2031 data sets, we are going to select the 2031 dataset for the left side parameter, and then the VISFA code 2015 for the left attribute, as this code is the attribute that has the common key to combine these two datasets. Then we are going to select the 2016 dataset for the right attribute, and once again we are going to select the VISFA code 2015 as this dataset's attribute. Then we are going to give this tool a name. And we are going to click Add and Run to combine the two datasets. Once the Join with Key tool has successfully run, a notification window will pop up and we're going to click Display to visualize the new output dataset. And as you can see, this dataset contains both the 2031 and the 2016 datasets with each of these codes. The next thing we're going to do is to process this dataset change in estimated residential population from the 2 years. To do this, we are going to go back into the Tools window, and this time from the Data Set and Table Processing, we are going to choose the Generate option from the available items. We are wanting our input dataset to be the dataset we have just created, and we are wanting our operand 1 to be the first or left estimated resident population, which in this case was the year 2031. The reason why we chose this as the left attribute is that this is the final estimated residential population. So we are wanting to take this attribute and then subtract it from the 2016 estimated residential population in order for us to calculate the change in growth. Therefore, we want our second operand to be the 2016 attribute. After selecting the parameters for this tool, we want to give the new column a name. In this case, we are going to call it Change in Population Density, making sure that we're using underscores instead of spaces. Otherwise, the tool will not be able to process properly. And once again, we're going to give this tool a name. So Change in Population Density Generate. This will make us keep track of all the tools that we're going to use. And then we're going to click Add and Run once again. And once the Generate tool has successfully run, a notification window will pop up again, and we are wanting to click Display to visualize the new dataset output. From the new output dataset, you'll be able to see the new attribute column with the change in population density. However, you'll also notice that there's currently no proper geometry for this dataset. So the final processing tool step that we are going to do is to link the new dataset that does not currently contain the geometry to a dataset that does contain the geometry, which in this case, we are going to use the 2016 dataset, or the first dataset that we attained. So to do this, we are going to open up the Tools window, and once again, we are going to choose the Join with Keys option. From here, we are going to choose the 2016 estimated resident population for the left side and the VISFA code 2015 as the left attribute. And then we are going to select the newest dataset along with the VISFA code, as these are the two attributes that have common denominations between the two datasets. Then we are going to give this tool a name. And then we are going to click Add and Run to process this tool. Once this operation has finished running, we are going to click Display in the notification window to display the new output dataset that contains both the change in population density column and geometry. Finally, we are going to take this calculated dataset and produce a data visualization of this dataset within the viewport. So to do this, we are going to open up Maps, Charts, and Graphs in the Visualise section of the command panel, and then select Map Visualizations. In this case, we are going to choose choropleth from the available items, as this thematic map type will help us to visualize a variety of shaded geographic areas in relation to the statistical variable of those areas. Then we are going to choose our newest output dataset and the change in population density attribute in the parameters section. And then we are going to adjust the remaining parameters as desired. Finally, we're going to give this visualization a name. And then we're going to click Add and Display and wait a few moments for the choropleth to visualize itself. And voila, there you have it, a visual mapping of the predicted change in population density for the Greater Melbourne region. Thanks for watching this video on how to calculate and visualize datasets within the AURIN portal. In the next video, I will show you how to take this dataset and visualize it within Mapbox. So until next time, bye.